mortal enemy, definitely. I mean, these people, no matter what they do, they have an annual budget roughly of $48 million. And all they do is try to stop you from listening to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's their main program. That's their number one gross national product, is making Jews give money to them based on their fear of Minister Farrakhan. That's it. So we can't escape that. We're locked in a battle right now, and it's God and Satan. We're locked in a battle. It's not an accident that in those days, the Jews wanted Jesus dead. That's actual fact. That's not hate teachings. If you read the Bible, that's an actual fact. They can't escape that. But they won't use prophecy to battle us. They don't want you to look in the Bible and say, well, what is it about what they're saying in there that made Farrakhan say the Synagogue of Satan and say false Jews? What is it? They don't want to go into the scripture because it's indefensible. They just want to lie about him, lie about us. And ultimately, if they want to stop the truth getting to our people, they want to kill your children and wipe us off the planet. Because what will your children do if there's no word of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, no teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad again? Books are locked up. What type of life do we have for our children who are living here, raised up in a land that's ruled by trickery, falsehood, Satan's world? And now, it used to be a time when there were only a few stations, channels, and eventually TV went off. Now, this was before my time, but I'm told that at a certain period of time, TV, you didn't just have 24-hour television. But now, whenever you turn on the TV, you can see cartoons. You wake up 4 in the morning, you see cartoons. It's a cartoon network. Anytime, you just look at those soap operas. Some of your sisters might look at those, some of your brothers too. Soap operas. 24 hours a day, you turn on and it's the same thing. I can now look at the soap opera for 30 years or whatever. I sit down and I got whatever's going on in like a second. Because it's the same thing over and over again. But I want to stay on this. The ADL wants you to stop listening to Minister Farrakhan. What's the ADL's plan to save black people? Huh? What's their plan to stop AIDS from tearing up our community? What's their plan? What's their plan to stop the scourge of drugs? Drugs are decimating our community. Crack cocaine, heroin, speed, all these other, weed. That's a drug too now. I know it's acceptable now because everybody smokes weed, but that still does harmful things to your brain. What's their plan to help us save our people from the scourge of drugs? What's the ADL's plan to stop our black women from becoming pregnant at a young age? What's their plan to stop our black men from filling the jails of the United States of America? They don't have a plan. Their plan is to keep us in the jails. Their plan is to keep drugs in our community. Their plan is to continue to keep our women pregnant and not having a way to make meaningful wages to go ahead and create a world for them. Nowadays, if you want to go to college, if you don't get a scholarship, you need bank. The loan programs are drying up. You can't just go get Pell Grants and loans anymore now. That's drying up right now. They're using that for others, so they're trying to class us, make it so that the class warfare will begin. Am I scaring anybody with what I'm saying right now? Are you upset with me? I hope that you're not upset with me, because this is what we need today to talk to our people. It's the 9th hour. It's the bottom of the 9th. It's the last inning. Minister Farrakhan said we are now already in the war of Armageddon. So we don't have time to walk lightly anymore. We have to run and act like tomorrow will never come. Did you know that the ADL worked to assist the apartheid government? Did you know that? I'm talking about the apartheid government that kept black people and white people separate, the Afrikaners, the white folks. Did you know that in some cases they gave information to the enemy that would enable them to go and get black freedom fighters who were fighting against the South African government? Did you know that? Did you know they worked on that? Now, if you walked up to them and said, why did you help keep apartheid going, they would, you know, is that anti-Semitism because you said that? It's true. Did you know that they spy on every one of you? Any freedom fighter, even the safe Negroes, they spy on them. You didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that. And yet these are the people who some of these Negro leaders go to for guidance on how they should treat Minister Farrakhan. These people don't care about us. Never have, never will. All they want to do is suck our blood. You can't even bring Minister Farrakhan to a black college without getting pressure from the Jewish lobby. A black college with a black president to teach black students. And you can't even bring Minister Farrakhan there. And yet they will spend thousands of dollars to bring a former president to speak. Or they'll bring a radio or TV personality. Or they'll sponsor collegiate cuties or Girls Gone Wild on their campus or spring break in Cancun or something like that. They'll give you the money for that without any problem. But yet when you want to bring Minister Farrakhan to your college to bring light to the students, they don't want to give you any money. Listen to this, brother. I want you to just listen to this. This is important. When these speakers came to our school, they spoke for 30 minutes, maybe 45. They would come, these politicians, 15, 20 minutes, $30,000. When Minister Farrakhan speaks, he gives you 2 hours of a lecture. You can take that lecture and chop it up into pieces, and that's all you need. But they don't want light to end. In fact, Mr. Farrakhan has even gone to a lot of colleges just for free. He has done that. Just in case anybody's out there thinking, you know, we get money all the time for this. Sometimes he goes for free. Because it's not about the money. It's bigger than the money. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than that. So I want you to go home when you get, and some of you who are Muslims, you probably already have this. This is a lecture, the World Press Conference that Minister Farrakhan delivered in 2004. I want you to go revisit that, okay? And listen to what Minister Farrakhan said then, because when you listen to a man who is like this, who says what he said, now, do you think that he was in, you know, out there over at the White House and George Bush decided to let him know what his plans were? You don't think so? You think Minister Farrakhan was, you know, when they were getting ready to set up their policy in Iraq, the Iraq war, they called Minister Farrakhan to see what he was going to say? But how could he know exactly what was going to happen ahead of time? How could Minister Farrakhan know that? And say it to the point where almost to the letter, in those letters he wrote to Bush, he predicted what would happen. So when you are with a man like that, I prefer to take anything that he says, about anything, whatever he says, whatever he does. I believe you, brother minister. Just let me know how I can help. So I want you to pull this out, and if any of you are visiting us, that was Minister Farrakhan, I'm going to tell you something you don't know. He got 200,000 of these made out of his own pocket, because he wanted to get this word to the people. He didn't ask for any money in return. He got these made, and we sent them out all over the globe. That's just to give you a sign of the quality of the heart of this man. All right? All right. Now, in the book, I discuss Zionism. Some of you don't know a lot about the word Zionism, but it really is the reason why Israel over there is involved in a life and death struggle with the Palestinians. If you don't know of it, just start reading about it. Just start. This book is a good one. I put it in a way. See, this book, it doesn't look too ominous, does it? It's small. You can fit in your hand. This little book is now. It's powerful. It's a little bit written in a. It's a lot of information in a small package, but it's put in such a way that even if you have no information, you can move forward in it. Okay. We talk about the neoconservatives by name because they're public officials, public figures. They're public officials. You need to know their background. These people didn't just spring up. They've been in the struggle for 30 years, the struggle to kill black people. They've been in it years. This is not a new thing. And then in the final chapter, I talk about solutions, because we can continue to point out the problem if we want to, but at a certain point, it's on us. The responsibility comes to us. Once you know the enemy, and you know what's going on, and you know those who are working against you, then you know what kind of fight that you're in. And you know how long you need to be involved with it. You know that this is a fight to the death.